Greetings, professor and class. Today I'm going to be showing y'all the video for the human psychology analysis project. Today we're going to be talking about Penguin Zero, who is a content creator on YouTube. And today I'm just going to be showing y'all why I think he's a genius when it comes to human psychology. I feel like he knows how the human mind works and he can use it to his advantage. Now, the video we're actually going to be watching is from another YouTuber named Corey X Genshin. The events that I want to highlight takes place in this video. I couldn't find the perspective of Penguin Zero of these events, so this video would do just fine either way. Now, just to give you some context, this game is called Among Us. This is the game that they're playing. If you don't know the rules to Among Us or what it is, I have, the rules to the video and all of that in the previous slide. All right, now that y'all know the rules, we could get the video started. So, firstly, Greaseball, the blue guy, this is Penguin Zero. This is the username he goes by when he plays Among Us. Now, as you can see, Gloom and Corey's names are red. Corey is actually the person who's making the video. Their names is red. They're both the imposters. Now, by the way I have the video paused, you probably don't notice it, but there's 5 people alive, right? These 5 people who are like kind of highlighted are dead, and all of these guys are alive, right? Now, I feel like it's important to mention that Gloom is was kind of already suspected of being the imposter in the beginning of the video. Like in the beginning of this entire game, she was already kind of being suspected of being the imposter, kind of accused. So she's kind of on the hot seat already. And when I unpause this, you'll see that Corey starts to get a little bit in the hot seat when Jay starts to accuse him. So I'm gonna start the video right now.
I found corpse at the entrance of the electrical room.
I found a corpse by reactor and I saw Corey.
I saw you too, dude.
But I saw you there before I got there. Like you were closer to the body than I was.
So as you can see, like I said, Jay is starting to accuse Corey. He not directly accusing him, saying he committed the murder, saying, yeah, you were in the room by yourself, you have a high chance of doing that.
I didn't see a body.
And he's
So
lying.
you guys both saw, or
mind
saw a
games.
body and you didn't report it?
No,
Or
it
did
got
you
reported.
report
I literally just saw. I thought Corey reported it, but it's Lauren.
I'm literally in the room with, I think, Gloom right now.
So let's make this clear. There is nobody and nothing on the right side of the map because I explored over there to see if there was a kill since nothing had happened. It is completely...
Okay, so the person who was just talking just now was actually Penguin Zero, aka Greaseball. Now, what he just said to everybody, saying where he was at and what he was doing, was actually a really, really smart play by him, because he did it before anybody could ask him, what he was doing and where he was at. And the reason why that's so smart is because now he seems more trustworthy to everybody. Because if he was to wait for somebody to ask him that, right, it makes him seem like he was stalling to trying to come up with his alibi. But him saying it before anybody could ask him makes it seem like, he has his story straight. He's not trying to come up with nothing. He was straightforward with it. So it kind of erases, oh, he's trying to come up with something because he said it before anybody could ask him. So that was actually a really, really smart move. But let's keep going.
Okay. The room that is right next to reactor is where the body was. On the left side of the map. And I saw Corey near there. I just walked in and I saw him close to the body.
You see, Jay
and then I thought he reported it.
Accusing Corey.
Lauren reported another body.
And I didn't even see a body.
And he's trying to lie,
But we have to vote somebody. I have nothing to really add to this. Jay's making a good case against Corey. Do we have anything else?
I mean,
Well,
I
where
was
were
in
you, Charlie?
Like I just said, the right side of the
He's
map.
on right
I just
side.
banged
Oh,
out
by
the
yourself?
shield mask.
As you can see, when Jay asked him, because he probably didn't hear what Greaseball said, Greaseball has somebody to vouch for him. Reinforcing why that was such a good play. Just a little small play.
You didn't vent over there after the kill?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I have.
And then that's where Corey was?
I went to seismic and then admin.
What do you think about Corey, Bloom?
I mean, I just saw him standing there. I have not seen Lauren
Jay, we have
at
to vote.
all.
All right, now that question that he just asked Gloom has so many plays underneath it. It is nothing short but genius. I couldn't think of another word but genius for that question at this moment. Now, that question he just asked her, what do you think about Corey Gloom? That question has so many plays underneath it that it's nothing short but genius. Asking that question at this moment, it was just such a genius play. Now, let me explain why. He asked, what do you think about Corey Gloom? There's 3 responses she can answer with. She can answer with a response against Corey, saying, yeah, he's suspicious, he's probably an imposter, we should vote him out. Then there's the neutral response, the response she actually gave, which is like, oh, I don't know about him, he was just standing there. That's the neutral response. Then there's the response with Corey, vouching for him, saying, yeah, he's probably not the killer, I don't think he's the killer, we probably shouldn't vote him out. All 3 of those responses would have been detrimental to her. And let me tell you why. I'll break down each response. So the response detrimental to Corey, going against him. You got to remember, Corey is still her teammate. That's still her teammate. So if she was to say, yeah, Corey is suspicious, he's probably the imposter, that, he probably killed that guy in that room, and they would have voted out Corey, she would most likely be next after Corey. Because remember, like I said in the beginning, she was suspected when this game all started. When this game all started, she was instantly suspected. She was in the wrong place, wrong time. She was instantly suspected. So besides her, Corey is in the hot seat. She is the number 1 in the hot seat right now. She's the most suspicious right now. And Corey is the second suspicious. So getting Corey out, probably the next vote is most likely going to be her, and it would end up a loss for the imposters. So that's why against Corey would have been a lost response. Now, neutral. The neutral response, saying, yo, I don't know, he was just standing there. That response would have been a lost response for her as well, because at this point of the match, your crewmate, there's 2 imposters remaining, and you have to get one of them off right now or the imposters win. If you're an actual crewmate, you're trying to get the person off that is the most suspicious. So her saying, oh, I don't know, Corey's just standing there, even though that Jay put up a solid case for Corey, it's kind of weird, because if she was a crewmate, she would vote off the most suspicious person. She is the most suspicious person, but besides her, Corey is the most suspicious person. So if she was crewmate, she would 100%, go against Corey and vote Corey. But since she is a neutral, it kind of tells Greaseball, if she's a crewmate, she shouldn't be neutral at all to Corey. So Corey is probably her teammate, and they're probably both imposters. So that's another lost response, right? Now, and the response for vouching for Corey, saying he's not the imposter, we should have voted him out. That is just the obvious one, right? It's just the 2 suspect people, and one is vouching for the other suspect person. Chances are they're teammates, and she doesn't want her teammate to be, killed. So that one is just obvious. Yeah, they're teammates, they're imposters. It's that simple. So you see how that one question that Greaseball asked her, and every response that she could have done, each and every one of them would have been a terrible response, a negative response, a lost response for her, right? And she ended up going with the neutral one. So that's why that question is so genius. And since she gave a neutral response, Greaseball now knows who's the imposters and who not. He definitely knows that Gloom and Corey are the imposters now because she gave that neutral response. But let's continue on.
I'm going Gloom.
I was over by where the tank
Gloom.
thing was.
Boom,
no,
quick.
not me.
You heard that? Gloom, quick. You heard that? You see how he was pressuring her to vote. That was so smart. That was so smart. And let me tell you why. Depending on her vote, like I said, neutral. That neutral response she gave on she's not siding with Jay or Corey is, you know, that was her final chance, right? That was her final chance to show that maybe she was a crewmate if she would have voted for Corey. But since she did not vote for Corey, that just told Greaseball that Corey is an imposter. Because like I said, if you are a crewmate at this point, you are voting for the most suspicious person. If you don't get an imposter out right now, you lose the game. So her not voting for Corey tells him that Corey is the imposter. Genius play. He really wanted to see what she would vote. Genius.
I didn't vote in time.
I don't know. It was just a gut instinct thing.
I was just going off what Raz said last time.
Yeah, because he was just like so adamant that it was her.
And he's upset.
It's
His
not
teammate
It's not good.
died. Now, let me go to the next meeting. Okay, this is the next meeting. Let's hear what they got to say.
I just realized something.
Yep.
Charlie has never been that quick to make a decision based on somebody else's words.
Well, we only had 3 seconds.
So Jay
And I was
is
literally blown the whole
kind of
time, so-
accusing
Corey and Lauren didn't vote.
Penguin Zero,
Corey voted for, I think it was.
or you know,
I didn't vote for anything.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure because that was kind of uncharacteristic of him.
I say,
But yeah,
I
but
feel
yeah,
like-
the
Yeah,
timer
I'm
was
watching him
counting
too.
down.
I'm watching
I
him
feel
too.
like if
and
you
he's
were
trying to
the
agree to
killer,
kind of
you were
take
the
the heat
imposter,
off of
you
him.
Voted for Cassie when everybody was throwing.
I think he just wanted to get somebody off and was.
Well,
waiting
I
for one of
voted.
those two people
I
to
voted
vote.
way earlier before Charlie said, "Hey, we gotta vote for someone."
Yeah, he had voted way before I
Pay
said that.
attention.
We were right about Gloom, by the way. We would have lost right there if we were wrong. So we got that right. And Gloom vouched for, or not vouched, but was very hesitant to accuse Corey. Jay, you had a case against Corey, so we can skip here and just keep that in mind.
Now, that wording was so genius in that moment. Everything he said, right? He said, specifically, this is why I want you to pay attention to. He said, Gloom vouched, well, not vouched, but was hesitant to accuse Corey. Now, even that part where he made a mistake was very important because him saying vouch, even though he didn't mean it and then said or just was hesitant to accuse Corey, vouch doesn't disappear out of people's heads. Now, even though that's not technically what he meant, vouch is still in people's heads. Like, vouch, he said vouch. It's kind of like, oh, did she vouch for Corey? And now that's going off in people's head. So what he's effectively done with that sentence is kind of turn everybody against Corey. Now, he, like I said, Greaseball knows that Corey is the imposter. He knows. Now, with that one sentence, everybody thinks that Corey is the imposter because he said vouch, but then he said it was hesitant. But now they're thinking vouch. Vouch is going through it in their head. So Corey is the main suspect now. He is in the main hot seat now. Now let's go to the final meeting. This is the final meeting, and this game turns in a direction that you probably will not even suspect it would turn. But Actions speak better than words. Let's play the video.
I know who it
clear.
is.
Jay's clear.
It's Corey.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Corey.
How is it? How is it?
See, like I said, that last meeting with that sentence, he's gotten everybody on Corey now. Corey, they want to vote him out.
Me and
Corey.
Charlie were doing the reactor. We were the only two in
Wait,
there.
I saw it. I saw it. I
What'd you
went
see?
straight to navigation. Nobody was with me. As soon as I got to navigation, you were there by the vent.
I was doing a task at navigation. I
No,
saw
I'm
you come
saying,
in and
like,
I saw
as
you
soon as-
come out. That was pretty sus.
No, as soon as we got done with the meeting, we all spawned in the cafeteria, right?
Right, and I ran straight to the right.
No, I did.
I did too!
I didn't see you.
Now, Jay is he's kind of putting the win at jeopardy now. He's put the win in jeopardy. Instead of him, this is how you can sabotage your own team. Instead of him just going along and just saying, yeah, it has to be Corey, and be it like that, everybody votes him out. He's introduced this new narrative, and now there are conflicting narratives because Corey is saying he did something and Jay is saying he did something, and there are conflicting narratives. Now, if there was no narrative at all, Corey would have been voted out and the game would be finished. But let's continue.
Bro, you're sus, dude.
No, bro. No, they can vouch for me. I went to reactor to bring it back.
Imposter
That doesn't
can
mean that
react
you're
to-
not the killer, though.
I'm going Corey. I'm going. Corey.
Yeah, I'm voting you.
It's too sus. No.
Lauren,
You're
what did
sus.
you see?
Don't play that game.
I have no idea. I haven't
How
seen
does
it.
you going to the
All I saw
reactor
I knew
absolve you being the killer?
Jay, you just said you went to Nav?
Now, as you can see, now there's holes in his story. And
I went straight to Nav from cafeteria. I saw him at the vent, and then I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get to somebody." So he went
I
to
ran directly right after the meeting. I ran to the cockpit. You came in and came out. Yes, I did. Where were you?
I went straight to navigation. I saw you up near the vent.
You keep saying vent. I was nowhere near. I'm on the right.
I don't think he would vent from navigation. So you went to navigation and then you went to reactor?
now you see how Jay's narrative has a lot of holes in it. It went from it's 100% Corey to now we don't know. Grease knows. He knows that it's Corey. He knows that it's Corey, right? But now that Jay has introduced this flawed narrative, instead of it being 100% for Grease, it's 95%. And Grease is trying to exploit, trying to figure out this 5% error. Because even though 5% is a small percent compared to 95%, it's still a percent, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to figure out this narrative. So Jay introducing this narrative has completely thrown off the shift and completely thrown off the course of who was to be voted off. Continue.
Yeah, and then I saw you and Lauren doing the reactor.
That's on the complete other side of the map.
Oh,
I know because I ran away because I thought you were gonna kill me because I thought that you thought I saw you.
and he's
What path did you
messing up
take
his
to
words.
reactor?
I just went straight from navigation through the cafeteria all the way to the left side. And then I saw you and Lauren doing the reactor. And then you guys saw me too. And nobody died.
Exactly.
And I
Nobody
ran-
died because they saw you. I'm voting Jay 100%.
Jay.
What? Why?
Now you see Laura, the white player. It went from, like I said, 100% Corey. Now that flawed narrative, Grease knows that it's Corey, like I said, but now Lauren is 50-50 with Corey and Jay. It's 50-50. Well, in this case, it's kind of like 51-49. She believes that Jay is more of an imposter than Corey now because of his flawed narrative. So instead of not introducing a narrative and just saying, yeah, Corey has to be it, and him getting voted out, things like that could kind of sabotage your team, but it happens.
Hey, you have no patience.
So yeah, he gets voted out. You see, Grease doesn't vote at all because he does not believe Jay. He is undecided. He is stuck on that 5% error. He's still stuck on that 5% error. So
I was about to say Corey. I don't think it's Jay. I don't think
Oh,
it's Jay.
no.
That wouldn't make
So
sense.
at the end,
Let's go!
hold on.
Let's go!
And as we can see, Corey ends up taking the win, taking the W. It just goes to show how, you know, a teammate can sabotage you at certain points. But even though Penguin Zero did lose, it still shouldn't take away from his genius and how he critically analyzed the situation and asked questions and responded to, you know, made statements according to the situation. You know, asking the question, how do you feel about Corey to Gloom? That was the key, and it really set it off him. That was the question that made him know who was the imposters and who were not. You know, saying, I'm going to say, he said she vouched, he said Gloom vouched, well, not vouched, but was hesitant to accuse Corey. Him saying that vouch, like I said, it's in people's head now. Vouch is in their head. So even though he retracted that statement, he kind of retracted it, vouch is still in people's minds. Really, really smart, really smart plays. And yeah, that's the video on why I believe Penguin Zero is a genius in terms of human psychology.